Hey everyone, it's Jason, and this is your midweek cruise news update. And since the pandemic, I've seen a lot of nickel and diming going on by cruise lines to make up for that massive amount of debt they incurred. But this last story, it takes the cake. So cruise story number one, we have a Stowaway Cat update. So Michael Bailey, the CEO of Royal Caribbean, posted on his Facebook page that the cat that was brought on the Ovation of the Seas, they felt it was probably brought or snuck in under someone's sweatshirt. They thought maybe that it was also sedated at the time that the cat was brought on board. Pretty sad right there. And it was found by New Zealand officials, and it was actually scheduled to be euthanized by New Zealand officials. But the customer service team for Royal Caribbean stepped in, stopped that, and it was actually adopted by a customer service member out of Miami, Florida. So Ovi is now a resident of Miami, Florida, and the cat did not go back to its original owners in Arizona. That raised a lot of questions for me. I wonder why. It doesn't explain it. What do you guys think? My opinion is there was probably a lot of fines. They didn't want to pay it. Royal Caribbean didn't want to have a cat euthanized because they missed something. And so one of their customer service members adopted the cat. So it's a happy ending for all. So cruise story number two, there's a potential design flaw in the $1 billion Celebrity Ascent, as many passengers are saying in the first couple weeks that they're having cracking and popping noises in their cabin walls, so loud that they actually had to wear earplugs in order to sleep. Now what's interesting is there's also reports of this happening on its sister ship, the Celebrity Beyond, but not the first two Edge-class ships. And the reason might be for this is because there is actually a layout change between those four ships. The Beyond and the Ascent actually have more suites. And what's interesting is many suite guests are saying it's happening in their suites. Have you experienced this issue? Let me know in the comments. So before I get to cruise story number three, I would ask that you please like the video, as it does help the channel grow. Also consider subscribing, as I do daily cruise news shorts and tips and tricks. I also do longer cruise videos on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 8 a.m. Thanks so much. So cruise story number three, and I can't wait to hear your guys' comments on this one. Celebrity Cruises made a couple pretty big changes. They really didn't communicate it to anybody, and passengers are upset. So the first change they made is they have a premium beverage package, and it goes up to $17 per glass of wine or drink. Now anything above that, you pay the difference. And they have a very large selection, or used to, of wines under $17. Recently, they made a change and moved many of those glasses of wine past that $17 limit. And we're not talking super premium bottles of wine. We're talking bottles of wine that us in retail would cost $15 to $18, $19 a bottle. So nothing crazy. And here's the interesting thing. There was zero communication on this. So imagine, I've been reading stories, people getting on the ship. They bought the premium beverage package. They spent over $1,000 on it. And then they're told, oh, I'm so sorry, that glass of wine isn't included. That'll be an extra $2.40 or $3.60. Can you imagine? And then Celebrity uses their crew members to communicate that. Why would you put your crew members in that position? That's upsetting to me. And the second change they made, and to me, this is the height of nickel and diming. Celebrity Cruises has a retreat lounge. It's key card access and allows only those that are in suites in there. Now, the interesting thing about this is it used to be they carried some premium drinks that anywhere else on the ship would be over $17. But because they were suite guests, they kind of included it in that. It was kind of an unwritten rule. Well, they don't do that anymore. So there was no communication on that. And now, whatever rules apply on board, so if you have a $19 glass of wine that was once $12. Now you get a $2.40 charge in the retreat lounge. The kicker here is many of those people that are in the retreat lounge paid $2,000 plus a night for their cabin. $14,000 a week. Can you imagine? And the crew members, once again, have to provide that communication. Shame on you, celebrity, for making your crew members have to do that. That's just unacceptable to me. And what's wild is what are you thinking? $14,000 plus a week, and you're nickel and diming someone for $2.40. These are people that can go anywhere, they can travel anywhere, they can cruise on any cruise line, and you're going to alienate them. What are you doing? Just in my opinion, this goes back to Royal Caribbean's group, their management in the last couple of years, and they're super focused on finances only and not focused on the customer. Take care of the customer, and the finances will come. I really believe that. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the changes made by Celebrity. Also, what do you think about the Stowaway Cat? I'm glad it had a good ending. And have you been on one of the newer Edge class ships and heard some of the creaking noises? Let me know in the comments. And until I talk to you next week, happy cruising.